One of the greatest gifts that God gave man and woman is companionship. But the greatest in this context, in this setup, is using sex to create connections. Welcome to Family Times, and that is our topic today. To help us understand this topic, we have a very interesting couple, beautiful people, tall people, Patrick and Maureen. Please introduce your wife in the best way you can.
Thank you. I thought she would introduce herself, but I'm Patrick Okoyo, and she's my lovely wife, Maureen. She can speak for herself.
I'm Maureen Okoyo, and I'm happy to be in this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The gift next to me is my wife, Linda Riaga. Say hi to our viewer.
Hi viewer, welcome.
You know, I'm looking at you differently because the topic that we are talking about is a build-up for something that is coming up. Then we have this lovely couple. Richard,
Yes, sir.
who is this?
This is Tabitha. Tabitha Ouma is her full name. And I'm Richard Ouma. Obviously, this is my wife. My lovely darling, welcome, our viewer.
Thank you. Welcome, viewer.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are discussing using sex to create connections. Which are these connections that we need to create using sex?
I'm a little struggling with that connection thing. I'm trying to think, what are these connections? But ideally, I think connection would be between me and my wife, so that we connect. And sex would actually give us the opportunity to really connect, and connect hard, very hard.
Very hard. I like that.
Very hard.
Nice and slow. Connect. Patrick.
Yes.
Using sex to create connections.
You know, sex is an important subject, if you may allow me to put it that way. And it is something that, if it is tapped into positively, then it yields results. So my understanding would be, when we use sex as a tool of creating social connection, then it would be something that enhances social relations and builds chemistry between a man and a woman. Of course, it's a gift, and of course, when it happens within the marriage setup, and then you see that relationship between a wife and a man getting even much deeper. So that is how I'm looking at it.
It should happen between a wife and a husband, not
Yes.
any other place.
Yes,
Yeah, that's why it should
and during our discussion, we realized that this is not just an act, but it
Yes.
is a connection. And then now, when you're talking about a connection, it should be an intimate connection that even bring two people closer
Yes.
together. We don't even need to define what sex is, right?
Yeah, we don't need to define sex, and its sex, is my view, is largely psychological, and it happens in a context.
Yes.
And therefore, you must get rid of what we call an apple of discord. Apples of discord could be in terms of miscommunication in a family, or any marriage noise, anything that affects the copious flow of communication between a man and a woman.
Yes.
Definitely will affect sex, and therefore you get into it when you're not prepared.
Yes.
So it may not take place
Yeah.
if there is what I call apples of discord.
Yeah.
So it needs a context that is well moistured, a context that is well fertilized for sex to happen.
Very true.
Yeah, that means that for it to happen,
Yes.
the ground must be conducive,
Yes.
comfortable, and secure, and ambient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to set the ground.
Psychological.
Let me put this tab down. We want to set the ground, and I don't know where we should start from.
Let me start from this place.
unatusoma ama
What are some? But let us start from this place.
Yes.
Going by our laws, worldly laws, our country's laws, you know, you have no marriage unless and until sex takes place. The law doesn't say, the law doesn't give you room to be married to a woman or a woman to be married to a man without sex, because that consummation is what sets the marriage on. By law, if you get married and you don't have sex, you don't have a marriage. It must be consumed. That's when you are considered a married person. If you get married and for a whole year, probably 6 months, nothing has happened, tell you what, you are not married.
That then becomes not even marriage. Sorry?
Probably roommate.
Probably. And it could even be more than that.
Yeah.
So things must happen.
Yes.
Yes.
Things must happen. And now we, yes?
But you know what happens in our culture, the way we've been brought up? Do you even talk about sex?
I think I come from that school of whatever. I'm that old school.
Yes.
Well, no wonder you have been quiet and wondering what are these people talking about today.
Anyway, it's a topic that requires a lot of patience and wisdom, because you cannot just. It's not something that you just sit down and do. It is something that needs friendship. You have to be friends with this person first before you indulge. Because when there's no friendship, sincerely, one person will be gaining and the other person will not be gaining. You know, because as I always say, men are wired differently compared to a man. The way a man will react to sex and the way a woman will react to sex are two different. Men think about sex like a million times in a day. I'm exaggerating the figure, of course, compared to women.
1,000,001.
Yeah, it could be 1,000,001. Yeah. So the way you think about sex is not the way I think about sex. So we have to meet
at a certain point.
Yes, and then agree.
Well, how do you think about sex that women don't think about? How? What's the difference?
Before we go there, I just want us to build on this biblically.
Yeah.
Then now we come back.
Thank you.
Because our viewer somewhere may be wondering, hey, now watu wanaongelelea nini? 1 Corinthians 7:2, 7 verse 2. Maybe Maureen, you could open 1 Corinthians
7:2-4.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 from verse 2 to 4, it says, "Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife hath no power of her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband has not power of his own body, but the wife."
That's deep.
I do.
That's deep.
I do 1 Corinthians 7:5 in connection with that. "Defraud thee not the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempts you not,
I love
for
that.
you are incontinent."
I love that bit that says, "and come together again." There are only two reasons why we should not come together again. That is prayer and fasting.
Yeah.
So the Bible confirms to us that as a man, I need her. There's something I need from her, and there's something she needs from the man. So that brings us, it's called mutual benefit.
Yes.
Yes.
Mutual benefit. And then it also, if you read that the Pauline letters, between the lines, then it mentions about consent as a word. Then it should be, the consent is mutually agreed upon. And then you realize that in that very context that you may wish to refrain from a sex, that also takes us back to what happened in Exodus chapter 19, around verse 14-15, when Moses was instructed by God to tell the children of Israel to refrain from sexual relations. That was shortly before he received the 10 Commandments, the Sinai covenant. So, but it should come with consent. So, from what Linda just talked about briefly before we read the verse, she talked about sex as a subject that should be talked about. We find that most couples do not share about sex openly. Probably it could be because of certain affiliated to certain cultures. For example, my culture, it is a taboo topic. So you find that when you talk about it, you get lost whether you are still within the spiritual realm, you as a Christian, or whether you are now breaking the African norm. So it is a taboo topic, but I'm persuaded to think that when we openly discuss sex, then we derive great satisfaction out of it, and we use it to actually enhance our relations.
Okay, Dave, just to add on what Mr. Patrick is saying, concept is very important, and it is here that most couples may go wrong. You must seek the concept, and if you are friends, if you are a friend to your partner, then this consent will just come automatically. You will not even be struggling to get the consent. If you are a friend to your partner, you will be able to know. In fact, your husband will be able to know, your wife will be able to know that today, this is not the right time or the right mood, or something is bothering my spouse. How will you know this? Because you are friends, you share, and you get to know each other. So if you are friends in your marriage, then even getting consent from each other will not be a very big problem. Actually, you'll just know that today, the way I'm seeing Mr. Patrick, I know is into something, and that is what definitely I will also behave in the manner likely to tell him that I accept your behavior towards that, whatever that you want.
How would you want your sex to begin?
Of course, foreplay. You can't come mechanically that you just want to come and do the thing. You have to start somewhere. Prepare me first.
I think, let me add on what Linda is saying. It's not even about, sex does not start at night, or it does not start at that time. For us ladies, it starts even in the morning. Meaning, it's how you talk to me. That already prepares me.
Psychologically.
Exactly. You're nice to me during the day, you call me, you text. It, you know, just... And then by the time in the evening, whatever time, exactly.
Yeah, like for ladies are men by day. Just as Tabi said, we are wired differently. Yes. Men are shooting like, they're like gas. They're like the Meko gas. But for a lady, no, wait, just relax.
When you say men, you are basically talking about me.
Not you, all men.
How do you
we have been engineered that way. That's the
we have read books.
Thing, yeah? We've read books, by the way.
All right.
Now, and the ladies are like Jiko. When you want to...
Makai menyeshewa.
Hey, once the makaa has been nyeshewa, when you want to light it, to make it like get hot, you first have to use a lot of peppers or the sawdust to make it, to dry the charcoal first, then it will have now the ability to light now.
Linda,
so,
in other words,
ladies, they take time, in short. Ladies take time, but men, it's
What?
Maureen, what did you want to say?
I just want to give a practical example. Let me be practical with what maybe Mr. Patrick does. You wake up, you are preparing his breakfast. He's there doing some part on your back. How are you doing? He's helping you here and there. Then when he gets to town, he calls you for lunch.
Yes.
Mama Petra, please come, we go for lunch.
Yes.
During lunch, you see where the talk is heading.
The clock is moving.
Yeah, the clock is moving. He's trying to drive you home. So before, when he's just about to finish work, he calls me, Mama Petra, can we meet to Havana for evening tea? No, he's bringing you closer. And then when you get out of there, you pass by, you know, there is a small mini supermarket there called Boom. It picks you a few things as you go home. When you are going home, you are walking. You know, the kind of talk that he's trying to bring home, he's preparing you for something. So when you reach home, you know that actually this is what my partner is expecting. And he had prepared you earlier. So it just comes automatically.
I just want to tell the viewer. I just want to tell the viewer.
But we are not different.
I just want to tell the viewer that it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yes.
You don't have to take me out to have sex with me, especially as a spouse. It's just preparation. It could also be in just the little talks. You know, we like to be told sweet nothings.
Even SMS only takes one bob.
Yes. So for that viewer who probably cannot afford to go to the store
Yes.
to buy a few things. Don't be discouraged.
Yes.
They're still away.
They're still away.
Yes, Richard.
Over
What a
time,
powerful.
Richard, we are coming back to you. I see you
yes, it's burning, but over time,
Yeah.
I have come to appreciate that men also need to be prepared.
Right.
Very
I've
true.
come to appreciate that fact
Yes.
because when probably I make amorous advances
Yes.
towards probably from the morning,
Yeah.
then I'm also preparing myself psychologically. It means that the norm of reciprocity should apply. They
Very
also
true.
expect the same
Yes.
from her.
Yeah.
So we need to actually interrogate the pretensions that men always shoot so fast. We always need
Yeah, but
that
but
preparation
it's
because you know, for now, for example, we are now in a period that what appeared to be an epidemic has now morphed into a pandemic, and so most of us are weighed down psychologically.
Right.
Yeah, because the need to make a few calculations to fend for your family. So we need that preparation as well. So
Very
that
true.
is something that I think, Richard, you should always buy in.
Yes.
timing.
But
Timing.
our need is
Timing.
true.
We also need that preparation.
Yes.
They are forgetting that. Wires or no wires.
But it's
If I've woken up and I look at you and I say good morning and I say good morning, and you're not really looking at me suggesting that you're my wife, leave alone the fact.
how do you want to be looked at?
Nicely.
It's nicely,
Yeah,
nicely.
yeah.
I mean, good morning, hi, how are you? Umeamkaje leo? Choka kidogo, usijali baba. Niko, I'm here. You're already throwing those words to me. That makes me think, oh, okay, all right. Then I go away and you send me a text, even if I read it at 1 o'clock, when I have my lunch break, I realize, oh, at 7:30 she sent me this text. I am in today. I have a game.
And the motivation, I wanted to say that the motivation for having that kind of communication is highly intrinsic. You must, first of all, cultivate a positive intrapersonal communication. What goes on in your mind?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is that we now we lead to another. One thing leads to
Leads to
another.
the next.
Okay?
And the next.
Peel off
and the next.
each other's concentric layers.
Yes.
Time after another. So
Exactly.
that
It
you
develops.
cultivate the relationship. It
Yes.
is not instantaneous. In fact, even instant coffee is not all that instant.
It's not instant.
There
It has
was
to
a
be
process
prepared.
There must be a process.
It must be a process
Yes.
of preparation. Exactly.
So I like it when she gives signs that she needs a massage. Mgongo imechoka. Then hapo najua, not really that it must happen.
Yes.
But you know, by the way, even during this time that he calls you,
Yes.
during this time that you know, things are happening. There could be a point where now umefika, then unapata kwa ground vitu ni different.
Yes.
They could, because my timing is not her timing.
Yes, yes.
Sindio? Unapata things are not happening the way you expected.
Yeah.
In the morning, even as you are preparing, you already have this picture in your mind. How probably it's gonna be.
It's going to be.
Yes. Which technique is it going to? You know, your mind is already there.
Yeah.
But what happens when you realize that things are not the way they are supposed to be? You're not satisfied.
Who is not satisfied, the man or the woman?
Oh, either.
Satisfied having sex or?
Yeah, you're not satisfied sexually. Like
That's,
Probably.
yeah.
haujafika, amefika Kisumu, we bado uko Ahero.
And that happens to most couples, by the way. So many couples have not understood their couples.
Before you go there,
Yeah.
what is satisfaction?
Satisfaction,
So that the viewer may know, I may understand. When you talk about this satisfaction, what do we mean? Probably
yeah, because you can be having sex for so many years, but you
Yeah.
don't get satisfaction. And that is why we get also this issue of a man can buy me all the stuff and have sex with me every day, but I still go out and have sex with another person. And vice versa. You know, I can sleep with a man.
is
Or,
the satisfaction?
yes. So satisfaction is when you truly have sex with your spouse and you communicate. That means, you know what, if you do this to me, this is what I like. But most people think that when I have a conversation with him, they'll have that mentality, or this is supposed to be, you know, like prostitutes, you know? Yeah. But if you learn to communicate with your spouse and tell your spouse, hey, you know what, if you have sex with me this way, this is how I like it. Yes. And then you're able to have orgasm.
Yes.
Yes. When you have that, and then your partner does what you have agreed, then you get that satisfaction.
This sounds like it is for women.
No, I'm talking as a woman. I'm talking as a woman.
Talk as a man now.
Sabi,
you were saying if you're friends and you were doing that and probably maybe it ended before me, the lady, reaching the orgasm. Because he's my friend, I will tell him, you know, today I didn't reach there. You left me behind. So he will go out knowing I left her somewhere. So he will also be preparing so that when maybe the next time he will make it a point to reach the destination. But if you're not friends, you will not be able to communicate. You will not tell him where he left you. So you need first to be friends.
And then you communicate, by the way. Communication is key. And being open. But
when
we know
do you
what
communicate?
happens.
During sex?
Before sex.
No, you'll be talking, by the way, you'll be just
even
talking.
at that point.
Even at that time.
You can just tell him or her.
What are some of the things that you can say?
I think...
Like?
You know,
during sex, what can you say? I mean, you see, we are communicating.
A lot. We can do a lot of things.
You can call all names.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course, again, most of them may also not be genuine.
Yes.
Actually, when communicating.
In the street language, you say kujichocha.
Yes,
no, you may not really be, but unachocha mwenzako.
Building the ego of someone.
Yeah.
So for me, what works for me is that when I feel that she's not satisfied and she has openly told me that, okay, there could be many reasons why I've not performed to the acme of excellence. So what I do, I go home, I go to work knowing that I have a debt. How I will repay it is not okay? So I carry it forward so that in my next...
Dawa ya deni ni kulipa.
But one thing, let me cut you short. There are many reasons. If you are friends, just like Maureen mentioned, you have to realize there's so many things that can affect this sex. If you're stressed, you can never perform, however hard you try. If you're not eating the right foods, did you know that eating right also really helps? And exactly. You also have to drink a lot of water.
Maybe you could just tell the men that some of these foods that they need to eat.
Sounds like a what?
It's a therapy now.
Banana.
Yeah, because if you take a lot, there's some healthy juices that when you take, it really boosts. So yes, you might struggle so hard and do all that, and yet you're stressed and you're not friends and you're all that. You will not even gain.
And that's why I'm always persuaded that when we openly talk about, most men experience what I call temporary erectile dysfunction.
I like that.
And you began by saying it's psychological.
It's psychological.
It has to start from here.
So you rise to the occasion, but no sooner then you know what happens.
It's just
simply flump. It becomes completely flaccid, and so you cannot perform. Because probably there are certain things that have probably de-escalated you. And so that's why it's important to take, maybe you are expecting a certain gestures from this woman, but she's not doing it. Maybe you are expecting a certain style.
Communication have been spoiling you.
Unfortunately, the Bible is so silent on the styles.
On the styles.
We will talk,
but we have books.
We will talk about
Let me read you
that
something.
bit.
Let me read you something here. It's a writer.
I hope it's not...
just relax. It is. Remember that some sex is wonderful and some is boring. And most of it's somewhere in between. So don't expect it to be perfect every time. That's a fact. Don't expect it to. Sex is not about perfect technique. It is about perfect love. So be gentle with each other. That's a solution. Relax. Enjoy your love and laugh about the several times when things didn't work out perfectly.
So it doesn't work out.
The name of the book is called The Family Book.
Sometimes when I perform better, I appreciate that. But there are times when my performance is dismal.
There are times you look at her, you're like, what did you take in the morning?
You know it and you feel. You know very well that this one today didn't reach the apex. It was just somewhere here. Now the rematch, as Patrick said, is arranged.
Yes, exactly.
This
Tabi, you're not in agreement about this rematch.
No, I do.
She's taking notes.
She's taking notes.
You can't, every day can't be the same. We can't have the same.
That's why we need to appreciate the fact that at times it can't work.
And just like even us ladies,
but how we treat it.
We have our days when you just can't do it.
Yes.
Yes, because apart from the stress that you're talking about,
Emotional.
our body,
Yeah.
you know, like if you're almost in your cycle, or it depends with the individuals.
Yeah, it depends.
So if my spouse will understand me and will not expect so much, then it will also be good.
Yeah.
So communication is still key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
again,
understand
again,
it.
what sometimes also works for me is probably change of environment.
Perfect.
Yeah. So when I feel like probably you have more than one room in the house, you could use another room, or just to try
Or
and
take
see
her
if
out.
things happen. Or you could go out.
Yeah.
There are so many rooms in that house.
Yeah.
The kitchen is still a room.
It's still a room.
The floor is
Yeah.
still okay.
Yes.
The sitting room can be
You
fine.
must take in mind of the children. If in case you have children
Yeah,
in the house, you
definitely.
must take
Must
note
be
of that.
Of course,
Yes.
you will be a madman or a madwoman to do some certain things in the house when the kids are there.
Exactly. Very true.
But unajua,
It is.
sometimes when I'm still talking the context of man and woman.
Exactly. Husband
Sometimes
and
when
wife.
you know you are like watoto watamka tufanye haraka. It's even better, don't you?
Yeah. I think
we want to take a short break. We are coming back to talk about more
You're mad.
and more. No, I'm not mad. I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. When I think of you,
You're mad in love.
hey, I feel like things are turning into taking a different shape. Dear viewer, we are taking a short break. When we come back, we are still going to talk about when, how often, what if Linda is not ready and I am ready? Can we negotiate? Can we have another time?
BBI.
She's talking about BBI. So, how do we communicate? And then, is it spontaneous? Ama, it is. Stay tuned. We are coming back. I'll tell you the word.
Have you finally decided to live a healthier lifestyle? Or are you on the verge of making that decision?
Yes, I am. Actually, I have cleared my fridge of all unhealthy foods and I'm left with beans, here, and rice. This I will eat daily. Perfect.
Great job! No. That alone isn't healthy. There are a variety of plant-based foods that will give you all the nutrients that you need.
Oh, for real? Which one?
Are you stuck as well? Watch the brand new season of Fast Foods Made Fast and learn about all the nutrients you need from a plant-based diet.
This is really good.
Fast Foods Made Fast, every Sunday at 8 p.m. on Hope Channel, Kenya.
We are back. Bigger, better, hotter. The topic is using sex to create connections, and we have talked about so many things. Yes, we have underscored the fact that sex is biblical. We have mentioned that we need to prepare one another, and in this context, no one has the monopoly of preparation.
Yes.
Anyone should prepare
Yes.
the other,
yes.
because this is mutual, and so we must just go that direction. What were we talking about?
We're talking about satisfaction, and also when you are unable to communicate the feelings, and the person probably gets not satisfied. I don't want to use the word dissatisfied because it could be nuanced differently. But my mind goes back to an interesting book by Francois Rabelais. This gentleman talked about two mythical giants, Gargantua and Pantagruel. Now, Gargantua and Pantagruel are two mythical giants that are day old. 17,913 cows were required to furnish Gargantua with milk. So probably, I want just to be over-romantic about this, so that maybe some spouses could be having gargantuan appetite for sex. A desire that cannot be satisfied. Yeah. So how do we handle this?
By the way,
how do we handle this?
You want to respond?
I don't know, because I don't know. He's still I am still trying to understand what he's asking.
Someone who has
a bigger appetite.
A huge appetite.
More
sex.
Yes. The partner is not able to satisfy.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it could be a problem, which maybe someone needs to take care of it. Maybe medically, I assume.
I'm thinking that in a place where, in a context where there are no underlying issues, yes, the two of you are not able to satisfy each other.
Yeah.
One person feels like he is never satisfied.
It's not a medical issue.
One is not enough.
I think you need to talk, to speak it out. You can find more ways of doing it and improving your sex life.
Yes.
I think there's
some part of
improving to match the needs of the
if you talk,
or him
to reduce.
You'll come to a place where you'll at least all of you will.
You do an average.
If
he wants 4 rounds and
rise up,
so
rise to the occasion.
Okay, it's spontaneous because he's also going to come down because maybe I can't reach there. So he will come and I will come and we'll meet at a middle place.
Well, I don't know. Yes.
I think what she wants to say is that because I can read, my readers, something I can read.
Yes.
It's because of that reservation. There are some women who probably feel that they don't need to unleash certain styles.
Thank you.
That if you unleash it, and then someone is going to say, where did you learn all these things?
Yes.
And again, the Christian tag that you have to be reserved. So most women carry it to the bed. And so
they carry it to the extreme.
Pious.
Yes, you have to be pious.
Still religious on bed.
You want to sing a hymn in bed.
We should be told that sex is supposed to be sex.
But do we pray when we want to have
It's not a prayer station.
No, even before you answer that question.
You already have the answer.
It is
it's still a prayer station. Come on.
I just want to thank God for giving me Mr. Patrick. You see, he can read my mind.
Thank you.
What you have said is very important. Don't be afraid of your partner.
Don't be reserved.
Don't reserve. Don't hold.
Thank you, Maureen.
Don't hold. Just give it your best.
Now, there is a prayer item here.
No, before I answer that, I want to talk to that viewer sincerely who has that problem. Now, it also your upbringing. Patrick, if I'm from that village where probably I did not even have an auntie who talked to me about it, or I also went through a lot of, that you also have to understand. Number two, I always talk about low self-esteem. When you have low self-esteem, even if your partner tells you to do this style, you'll actually look at your partner like, are you kidding me? What is all this? You understand? So you'll be the one judging your partner. So you also have to understand your partner. Now, when you have a partner who is like this, the best thing, you do not even have to discuss sex here. And you do not even have to go to a hotel.
Just yield.
Find a place that is conducive and make sure she's also comfortable. Because when you want to talk about that, you do not want to talk about it when don't point fingers. You know, just like I always give an example, like when Richard sees that there's something that you need to do in the house, and probably I'm taking forever to do it, he'll say, hey, you know what, why don't we do this? And by the time we're done, it could be a lot of work, but I feel like, you know what, I did it.
I thought he was going to be the practical teacher and say here that when he sees me walking in front and I see his eyes dart towards where I'm going, and something like that. But
swallowing solid saliva.
Yes.
3 things. Ready, comfortable, and happy. These 3.
Secured.
These 3. I've seen them work. When one is missing,
it can't work.
It goes the other direction. Atakupea tu.
Practical.
Ile like maliza nilale.
You know this
maliza nilale.
Dave, that
but maliza nilale is also a bad
it's a bad philosophy.
You see, at times it happens because you've come, you want it. I'm not ready. But I don't want also to disappoint you. Ile ulikuwa unasema
I want to be that
kujichocha.
nice.
That's what I do.
I don't subscribe.
Umenichocha mara ngapi
But
nisikie?
come on.
We'll talk behind the cameras.
I don't
thing
subscribe the
is-
philosophy of Maliza, Nilali,
Yeah.
or whatever you call it. All this
But it happens
have an
by the way.
origin from the way we are mentally conditioned, and to think about that sometimes probably if you let yourself loose during sexual intercourse, then you are probably being sinful.
Yeah.
Because there's always a danger
Yes.
that sex is equal to sin.
So
There's a perversion about sex.
This is a big challenge.
Yes, there's
This is
a big perversion
challenge,
about sex.
especially to Christians.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know where this came from.
We want to be so
Probably-
reserved.
Malazi.
And I hear they call it
See,
the missionary style.
Yes.
So you go the missionary style, the grasshopper
you go on your-
style, and then once you are done, you carry your little body or whatever it is.
Yes, to move aside.
Yes.
Oh, you're fun.
It
It
is
makes sex completely insipid. Boring
very
to say
true.
the least.
Very true.
Yeah.
I don't know where this came from. I'm struggling with it.
But you know
it's a
what?
Linda has said that is how you're brought up.
Yeah, it's
You were
and then
never
we
taught
were not
this thing
taught, yeah,
physically,
we were
so
not-
it cannot be that.
Richard,
Yeah.
This
Okay,
Then
Maureen.
what you see?
Sometimes when we stick to how we were brought up, then
Yes.
it can, we can
fail to
break
explore.
our marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have to remain how we were born.
Yeah.
Can you learn so
What,
that
just
learning?
yes,
Only a
learn
fool
so
doesn't
that-
change his
yes,
mind.
you
Yeah,
can
that-
change and
that's
you
a
can
fact.
learn.
Richard has said,
I like that. Learn.
Learn.
Who
Learn
taught
about, who taught us about sex, for example?
Yes.
Now, when a baby is born, who teaches the baby how to...
The mother.
No, it is so automatic.
Yeah.
You put the baby and the baby starts sucking.
Yes.
There's some things that you don't even need to be taught.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you say this is from where I was taught, who
it
taught
is-
you?
No, that is why, for example,
Yes.
that naive Tabitha from the village
Yes.
will just know that missionary.
Yes.
You understand? Because that's all she knows. She doesn't have that exposure. She does not read books. She does not what. So where do you expect?
Everything
then
must be
it goes
spiced.
back to him.
Yeah.
If Richard knows that there's another style, he can put me down and say, "Hey, sweetheart, you know what? How about we try this?"
Yes.
But just to confirm to our viewer who is married that there is nothing wrong with missionary.
No,
After all,
there's
this is
nothing
the
wrong.
point where you look at.
It's still okay.
Naona face yake
Yes, still
vizuri.
If it works for you,
But I have a
That's
question.
fine. That's fine.
Looking at the positive.
As long as what you call satisfaction comes into it,
yeah.
At the end of the day.
whatever style,
Yeah, exactly.
go on with it. Go on with it. But you know, it shouldn't be restricted to that only. Yeah, love should be explored.
Explore.
And there's,
We
some,
need
and
to
there's so many
explore.
people, there's so many couples who've been married for so many years and have never come, especially the woman, have never had an orgasm.
Probably don't have the experience at all.
No experience.
Thank you so much, Richard. The question that comes next is therefore, what if I'm not ready? I mean, you have tried from morning to evening. This goes to both husband and wife. The wife has tried, or the husband has tried, but I'm not ready. Why are you guys laughing?
Do it the next day.
If I may read something.
Wonderful.
Let me read the book of Genesis chapter 1, verses 27 and 28. It says, "So God created man in his own image, and the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over everything that moveth upon the earth." I believe when someone wants it and you're not ready, I think there's something that we can do, intimacy, beyond, like there's something that you can do apart from having sex.
Like what?
Cuddling, like helping you and just storing and making fun. It builds, so it builds a bridge. You'll not be left out so much, and I will also feel better.
You offer your apologies and continue to do other interesting things besides the real act itself.
Yeah.
And let you be
That's
understood
intimacy, yes.
as to why that cannot happen that day.
No,
But you can
that's
plan for a rematch. Yeah, you can plan for the next time, which may be only in the space of what time you are in. If it probably you're in the night and it can't start here, it can start in the middle of the night or very early in the morning. These things just come naturally if you plan for them. Yes.
Actually, Dave, it is not sin for me to tell my dear husband that today I'm not feeling well. I'm having some abdominal pain.
Yes.
I don't feel like, and because you remember when we started the show, we said we need to be friends. He will be able to understand. Today, she has said she is not well, but there is what he will tell me to do to help him, so that at least also his expectation is also met. He maybe will tell me, just maybe touch me here, do this, or
you.
Exactly.
yes. So it's not wrong if I tell him today I'm not feeling well. That I feel for our viewers, that is not wrong for you to tell your partner that you are not. It is not sin. It is not wrong. It is not your own making that you are not well that day.
You're
So
not ready for that.
yeah,
day.
you are not ready. So you will be able to
There's the
understand.
next
And
day.
that brings me to the point that sex is not usually actual penetration.
Yes.
Sex also takes what we call tactile communication, or
Very true.
communication by touch, or haptics. You know, when you communicate non-verbally, it is so gratifying that I just tell her to please lean on my chest until cows come home.
And by that
So
is satisfying.
you derive satisfaction out of that. So it is also important to find a language that you will relate to your partner, so that the person does not feel dejected. Yeah. So it's always important to communicate so that the relations is not jeopardized.
And again, there's a point here that says, be considerate to your partner when they are sad or in pain, or maybe their days were difficult.
Yes.
At times, they need closeness and comfort without sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What about illness? Richard,
Illness. Yes, well, I've already jumped that. I just wanted to conclude the other one. That when it's very mutual, when there's understanding between the two, the couples, then it's very easy to start the preparation for the next time this early. That cuddling, that whisper on the ear, that little touch here and there sends you to sleep, but ready for the next time. You, as Patrick says, when the cows come home, even when the bird starts to sing, you can still go there.
Even so,
and it's still enjoyable.
Even soldiers live to fight another day.
Yes.
Yes. Illnesses.
Illnesses.
Tricky.
Illnesses.
It still gets
Someone
back to
is ill.
communication. Still, because unless you're crazy, if your spouse is sick, surely.
You are a monster. Yeah, you just get to understand.
It still goes back to communication. And I mean, if you're crazy, that's when you'll insist on having sex with your spouse. And this does not even need communication, really, because you're seeing. It's something that you're seeing. The person is not even faking. Women can fake, by the way. Yeah, women can really fake. But this one, he's not faking. The person is on medication, you know. And you're the one paying for the bills, surely. You even...
Can we
It is,
confirm,
yes.
Patrick, you don't lose the thought,
Yes.
or rather go fast, then I can...
Okay. Before I lose my train of thought, illnesses is a bit dicey subject, because one could be a terminal illness. Someone could be bed for 1 year. And you see, when a spouse is unwell for 1 year, I'm very sure even the urge for sex disappears. It disappears. Because now you want to summon all the energies towards ensuring that she's fine, she's well. These are understandable. But of course, there could be challenges to this, because one could say that your eyes are also all over and seeing the potentials you can have to quench your thirst. It is important to maintain the sacredness of marriage, and also to suffocate desires that can take you outside this relationship. So it's always important, because this journey, it is a journey of sacrifices. It is a journey of companionship. So you need to be with each other in good times and in bad times.
I expect that if a couple, one of them is unwell, then naturally the other one who is not unwell, the one who is okay, will actually fall in the same place. The urge goes because you have a nursing, somebody to nurse with you. And therefore, that jumpy thing or easy thing or whatever it is, it stays away, because your mind is on the sick person and you're trying to help this one come out of it. Whether it's, giving medication, talking to them, being near them, the physical bit takes the side. And both of you then are not expected to be jumping. I'm sick, but I want you here. I want this. You are sick, and therefore, please, I'm nursing you. Let me just be close to you, but only to see that you are getting better. It takes away. I don't know whether people have that problem. But
I want to just add a little bit, because I know out there's a viewer probably who's been sick for some time.
Yeah.
And the spouse is having a million concubines. We have people who have, you know, I can't even express. I don't even have any words to say, but there are still situations where a spouse has been sick, just like you mentioned, terminal, but the husband has, you know, so such a case, I think it just needs prayers, because if that has become a lifestyle,
and if
how
they accept, they can go for counseling, or that person can see counseling.
Some cannot even afford counseling, you know.
But I say,
if you have a friend, actually that is actually counseling, So there is somebody probably who's going through that, and the spouse is out there with, you know, they don't even care. They don't even care about them. So I would just recommend that, pray more, and just have people, close family, who will, you know, encourage you. That support system.
Kuuliza tu, ni homa pia ni ugonjwa?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you take medication, it's Homa.
Okay.
But certainly,
what are you trying to say?
Reading you between the lines, I think we are saying that there are conditions in which sometimes we can still extend benevolence.
Yes.
When you're having a common flu, you can still extend benevolence. Perhaps, you know, many have even healed out of such simple acts.
Which research is that part?
You have some slight headache. You're given a dose of benevolence.
That happens.
Okay? Some common flu, dose of benevolence.
Exactly.
Almost towards the final question.
Yes.
Do we say thank you for the good pleasure?
Rewarding?
Do we say thank you?
Only in some cultures. I have lived in Uganda for some time, and I have heard this narrated that, you know, the Zengas train the young girls that when they get married and after sex, they need to tell their husbands, thank you. Unfortunately, you understand what happens in this our context, this side of heaven. You getting a thank you note from a couple. It's like expecting blood from a guava. You don't get it.
I think this act, it's normally, the outcome is normally different. So there is this one that is really nice, and you really want to say thank you. So not everyone, not every time you do it, you'll be saying thank you. But there's some special ones, you'll just be saying, today you made it. So it's not every time, but sometimes you just find yourself saying thank you.
You may not, this is our context. You may not say thank you
with the words,
but the way she talks to me after that encounter, I feel like
maybe that was nice today. That is a way of saying thank you.
Languages. You can express in different languages. Probably the way she takes care of you that day, etc.
Okay, you have knocked me off today.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we need to end. But before we end, very quickly, do we also use sex for reward? You did this to me, let me give you this.
Unfortunately, it happens.
Yes and no.
Did you say unfortunately?
Unfortunately.
Not
it happens. Not fortunately. Unfortunately, it happens. Because probably she feels like I rubbed her the wrong way, and that day she spends the rest of the night looking at the other side of the wall.
A dry spell for you.
A dry spell for me.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. Sawa. Now we want to give our final words. And I want to start with Maureen. An encouragement to our viewer that,
Thank you, our viewer. I want to give you hope today that make your spouse your friend. Talk about sex with him. Let him know how you feel. Let him know what if he does, then you will feel good and you will be satisfied. So don't fear your spouse, don't hold, be free, be friends, and you will love your family and you will love sex more.
Thank you.
Yes.
Patrick?
I subscribe to the philosophy that benevolence should be served to the acme of excellence. Yes. That's my word for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Tabby?
Wow. I shouldn't speak after Patrick has spoken. It takes away all my words. But I just want to encourage you, dear viewer, that sex is just for the married, okay? Don't have sex outside marriage. Thank you.
You have 2 books to read.
Yeah. So I'll go with the book of Proverbs in the Bible, Proverbs chapter 5, verses 18. It says, "Let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth." I will add, with the husband or the wife of thy youth.
What about 19?
And 19 says, "Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished."
Read again.
Always.
Read again. That
It says, "Let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love."
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Then again, I think we just need to talk about our fears about sex and anything that affects you or gives you more pleasure. You should just communicate. And by the way, we are here anytime ready to learn and unlearn. It's part and parcel of our lives. So be encouraged. Don't get discouraged. Just look for ways. God will always make a way. Remember to always pray to God. Ask Him for wisdom to help you deal with this. May God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you. To our viewer, as we discuss, probably you realize that sex is an integral part of marriage. We get our children from this act. It's also a way of expressing our love to our spouses. But we need to be free, we need to talk, we need to discuss, we need to explore, we need to know each other, we need to try so many things until we get our level and our place. So don't be discouraged. Keep it up, work on it. It will always be enjoyable and successful. More than anything, go to God and find your way in your sex life. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things."
Amen. Thank you.
Love, affection, and support, but people like Patrick would believe that love and affection are almost synonymous, but we need to support our spouses so that we can bring in the best out of them. Remember, we need to start doing something towards creating a good relationship, and once that is done, everything just comes in. Have a good life and enjoy your marriage. In case you're planning, like Timothy, have it right. God bless you and see you next time.